Hey YouTube, I hope everybody's having a good day. We're in the mountains here in Southern California, and we're gonna do an introduction to Earth Angels video. It's really nice up here. This is actually the San Gorgonio Mountains, and that's actually the San Gorgonio River right there. So I like to come out here, spend a lot of my time here when I need to get away and relax. There's a lot of deer, coyotes, bobcats, and things like that. I had to write it all down. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in too for people that have never heard of Earth Angels or light workers. So an Earth Angel is basically an incarnated angel. So your family is chosen. They choose your mother and your father, and then you're chosen and born into that family. Generally, that family has problems, usually a dysfunctional family, usually a lot of narcissism, and usually they're born to, they do multiple things, but to help the family and really to learn and grow in life. That's another huge priority for them to grow. It's like putting them in the fire so they can learn and grow. They call it being refined, kind of like when you make a sword, pushed into the fire. And they're actually programmed to awaken at a certain time. They generally awaken at a very young age, but the actual spiritual awakening comes later, because you have to have, basically you have to have all that life experience before you're programmed to fully awaken. So, I mean, I just found out about them like 2 weeks ago. And with everything you're hearing with the end times, and I kept hearing over and over again that there's going to be a group of people put here on Earth, and they're going to help everyone vibrate at a higher frequency, and talking about the fifth dimension, but I never really looked into it until a couple weeks ago. Let's see. Generally, in their lives, they're taken advantage of a lot because they're very giving, loving, and caring. And energy vampires can really zap the energy right out of them, along with their resources. But they're always willing to help. They're extremely sensitive, especially to energy, to other people's energy. They don't like being in crowded places. This is one of the reasons why they don't have very many friends. They have a very, very small circle, a very tight circle, but especially bars and clubs and things like that. It's too much for them. It's, you know, with everyone's energy, they can sense all the energy in there. So they really enjoy being alone. A lot of solitude, basically their whole lives. So another thing is their relationships. They're only interested in genuine relationships. So they're not one of those people that have, you know, 200 friends. Generally, when they walk into a room or a store or something, a lot of people can sense their energy too, because it's very intense. So a lot of times people can sense that, and they don't talk much either, so a lot of people, I guess, find them mysterious. But yeah, they have an aura about them, that's for sure. A calming energy, a confident, calming energy. And eventually, you know, once they get older, a lot of times, like I said, they're born into dysfunctional families or families with a lot of narcissistic people, and eventually they end up forcing those people to look at themselves in the mirror, and that can cause problems. Sometimes people don't want to see what they are, but people can end up changing, and it can help people. A lot of people say a narcissist can never change and it can never happen, but it can happen, and I've seen it happen. And some people might say, well, that's a miracle. Well, yeah, we do see miracles sometimes here on earth. You know, earth angels themselves are miracles, right? Okay, so yeah, with that, sometimes just your very presence, if people are a bit darker, earth angels, their very presence can make them feel uncomfortable because they feel like they're forced to look at themselves in the mirror. So that can make them feel uncomfortable. People that are maybe have a bit darker energy, they spend a lot of time alone. A lot of times they like to just reflect on their day and things that happened, and really from a young age, they like to recharge their batteries too, they call it. That's why they like solitude so much. And they're awakening, usually, I don't know the proper term, I guess you could call it politically awake to all the evils in the government and all these evil corporations and things like that. They're usually awake to that at a very, very young age. The spiritual awakening comes later, that's programmed. Generally, they love nature a lot, always out in nature. I think it just calms them down a lot, and it just feels good, you know, to be connected to the earth. It's a lot better than being in the middle of a city. I remember I was working in Las Vegas, and I couldn't wait to get home and come out here and just enjoy the nature. And there's always deers everywhere and things like that, and I really like it out here. The Matrix too, I mean, I don't know if everyone believes in that. They will soon, though. A lot of people are very comfortable in the Matrix, and earth angels can force people to start thinking outside the box, and that they don't like that very much. They like to stay in their little bubble in the Matrix, and that can also cause some problems. Okay, generally they live maybe on a farm or in the mountains or by water, lakes, rivers, whatever, by the coast, maybe by the beach. Always love nature, so if they can live there, they usually do. Let's see some of the qualities they possess. A lot of integrity, honesty, humility, compassion. I know humility and integrity is very, very important for them. And they can sense when other people don't have it very quickly. Very quickly. There is some different, I think there's like 4 different names, I think, something like that. You have earth angels, incarnated angels, chosen ones. I know from what I've seen, a lot of earth angels are people that feel that they don't like to be called chosen ones because, I don't know, makes them sound too important, I guess. And some people call them light workers, but light workers are a bit different. I think all earth angels are light workers, but not all light workers are earth angels. I believe earth angels are a bit more rare, and they have to have a very specific They have to have very specific things happen in their lives, specific life events and things like that. They're really put through the fire, and I don't think a lot of light workers have to be put through the fire like that. But maybe it's a good thing that these light workers aren't, because they almost never even seen any evil, so they're just so sweet and positive and pure. So I think that's cool. There's different types of these beings. So, but yeah, humility, compassion, kindness, which can make it difficult for people that feel they're earth angels to really come out and say it, because how do you go around, and for someone who's quiet and doesn't even like to talk much, and then is going to go around telling people that they're this special being, an incarnated angel? So yeah, I think that could be difficult for a lot of them to go tell people. They spend a lot of time daydreaming. Especially when they're younger in school. This can lead to teachers thinking they have cognitive disabilities or they're slow learners, but earth angels are actually very intelligent. They just spend a lot of time daydreaming, not really interested in this world. They spend a lot of time in deep thought. And yeah, that can cause some problems in school. And they always feel out of place, always feel like they can never really fit in anywhere. It seems like they never find really anybody quite like them. They can never just fit into a certain crowd. They always feel different. And a massive thing with earth angels is they have this unshakable feeling, this desire, like they were put on this earth to do something massive, something huge, something positive, but they just don't quite know what it is. And they can't, because of this reason, it's hard for them to work normal careers, even careers that other people might find very satisfying and fulfilling. They don't find it fulfilling. Generally, very hard workers. They're intelligent, but so they kind of have to force themselves to get into something they're not into, and it's pretty amazing that they can even do that. It could be tough to do that. But yeah, definitely tough to work at regular jobs. They always feel a deep connection. This one's kind of funny. They always feel a deep connection with superheroes. It's their stories, their struggle in the beginning. I guess you could say like Batman. He had, both his parents were killed. He had massive struggles, getting beat up and learning how to fight, and just massive struggles, and he went through all that, but eventually he became, Batman, or they become superheroes, and they do all this good in the world, and they sacrifice a lot to do good in the world. And even though they have all this power, they're very humble, and earth angels can relate to superheroes a lot. Even when they get older, it never stops. It never stops. Earth angels always love superheroes, always, and they always will. So I just thought that one is kind of a funny one, but it's very true. Let's see. Another massive thing. Earth angels are constantly told that they look younger than their actual age. They're told this a lot. And this is because apparently earth angels age at a much slower rate than the average person, or than a regular person. So that one I thought is very interesting. Very interesting that they age at a much slower rate. And let's see, they generally have softer features. A lot of times when they're born, people are constantly telling them, oh, you know, you're always so loving and caring and sweet and kind when you're younger, and a lot of times they hear that a lot. However, when they're babies though, because earth angels are very, very sensitive, they cry a lot. So when they're babies, their other siblings, maybe their siblings barely cried at all, but earth angels, they cry a lot when they're babies because they're so sensitive to everything, to all the energies, I mean, to everything. So, and they generally feel very connected to the archangels, especially Archangel Michael. They always have felt very, very connected with them. That one I thought was very interesting too. And so they're really programmed to spot evil and narcissist and things like that right away. And it could be frustrating for them to, because a lot of people in the world, there's just a lot of people that lie and cheat and steal, and they want to, you know, when these career paths, people are willing, as dog eat dog, they're willing to step on each other to get to the top, and just people not being grateful and just wanting to take. And this can be very difficult for earth angels because they just wonder, why are people like this? Why are so many people like this? How can they be like this? And it can almost lead to earth angels almost banging their heads against the wall and just wondering why is there so many people like this? I don't understand. They can't relate to it. They just don't understand it. They can't comprehend it. And so when they have their spiritual awakening, this is now, like I said, they awaken at a very young age. I call it being politically awake. But their other awakening, their spiritual awakening, this is the most important one, obviously. This is when they find out who they are, and they're programmed to find out who they are at a certain time. When God and I guess the archangels feel that they've gone through enough and they've been refined their entire lives. So after this awakening, it can be very, very healing for them, because they're always seeing all these coincidences in their lives and just feeling so different and out of place, and feeling like they've been put on this world to do something massive, but they don't know what it is, and being unfulfilled with regular careers. And it's just, and then all of a sudden they have this awakening and find out there's something called an earth angel, and all of a sudden you have like 100 synchronicities and coincidences all falling into place, and realizing that your entire life did have a purpose, and you felt so off and so different for a reason, and there was a reason behind all of it. And everyone's put here to do something good, but we all have our own paths, and that's just a very interesting path, and it is very healing for them to finally awaken and find out who they are. The synchronicities and coincidences are just everywhere in their lives, constantly pointing them out and just wondering, are these just coincidences? And of course they're not. And there's, like I said, light workers are different. Earth angels, they have to have a very specific life course, very specific life events and numerology and coincidences and just synchronicities. I mean, it all has to line up almost perfect for an earth angel. There's a lot that has to go together. And I think it's interesting too that we hear that in 2024 there's supposed to be a lot of earth angels programmed to awaken this year in 2024 at this time. I mean, it's interesting because we're going through all this crazy stuff, and people are they're falling so far away from Christianity and Christian values and just being decent people. And I mean, no one even knows, very few people even know what an earth angel are. A lot of the earth angels don't even know who they are yet. So I feel like we are going to go through a massive awakening, and they were put here for a reason, and yes, they are going to play a massive role in awakening everyone, and it's going to be huge. So it's going to be very interesting. We're living in fascinating times, that's for sure. And I can't wait to see what happens next. And good will prevail, good always wins. So we just gotta see it out, and everyone has a journey, and I believe Earth Angels will play a massive role in what's going to come. So I just wanted to get this video out, the introduction to Earth Angels, and I am going to tell my story soon too, as soon as I can, and I'll put out some more videos. Yeah, stay tuned, and thank you for watching.